The artist, the addict, the revolutionary. Jean Michel Basquait was born in 1960 in Brooklyn, New York, to parents of Puerto Rican and Haitian descent. Jean Michel lived through a tough childhood, experiencing a divorce between his parents, his mother coming in and out of mental institutions, an abrupt move to Puerto Rico, and returning to the city 2 years later, where he eventually ran away from home. As a young child, Jean Michel's mother instilled the love of art in him by taking him to art museums in Manhattan, enrolling him as a junior member of the Brooklyn Museum of Art. Although his family was poor, his teachers noticed his artistic abilities and was encouraged by his mother. By the age of 11, Basquiat could fluently speak, read, and write in French, Spanish, and English. However, in 10th grade, after his mother had been committed to a mental institution, he dropped out of high school and attended an alternative school instead. His father banished him from the household for dropping out of high school, and Basquiat stayed with friends in Brooklyn and was forced to fend for himself. It wasn't until 1976 that Basquiat began graffiti by the tag name of Samo. When his at-the-time boss caught him tagging late at night, he offered him a day job, and in 1976, the Village Voice published an article about the graffiti. In the 1980s, Samo started a rock band entitled Grey, starred in an independent film, Downtown, met with Andy Warhol in a restaurant whom he later collaborated with, and was featured in a Blondie music video. It was through these breakthroughs that he was finally being recognized by the more posh side of the art world. In 1982, he worked in Italy for some time and then came back to California. During the time, he was dating the at-the-time unknown singer Madonna. He had also worked with the iconic David Bowie for a short time in 1982. Jean Michel Basquiat was known as an eccentric and was known to paint in Armani suits and then wear them paint splattered later. In 1985, Jean Michel was featured on the cover of the New York Times tagged New Art, New Money, the marketing of an American artist. And although he was very successful at the time, his growing heroin addiction began to hinder him. When Andy Warhol died on February 22, 1987, Basquiat became increasingly isolated, and his heroin addiction and depression grew more severe. Despite an attempt to sobriety during a trip to Maui, Hawaii, he died on August 12, 1988 of a heroin overdose at his art studio on Great Jones Street in Manhattan's NoHo neighborhood. He was only 27. Sid Vicious, Jim Morrison, Billie Holiday, Jimi Hendrix, Whitney Houston, Janis Joplin, Heath Ledger, and Jean Michel Basquiat. What do all these names have in common? These are 8 people, all taken from Earth too soon because of a drug overdose, and they all continue to leave a legacy for all of us to use, to see, and to hear. For Jean Michel Basquiat, it is through his art, music, and artistic representation of the Latino culture.